was the concept of an employment agreements and covenants not to compete. Okay. As a free person in the United States, you have the freedom to go work wherever you want to work so long as they're willing to hire you, right? But you can give up that freedom, in a sense, by signing an employment agreement, a covenant not to compete, that says you won't go work for them. You're, in essence, promising to not do something. You're promising to not go work for a competitor. You have the right, otherwise, to go work for a competitor if you guys both agreed that they were going to hire you and you wanted to work there. But you're agreeing to not act, to not work for that competitor by signing that employment agreement. Okay, so that's also known as forbearance. Okay, not doing something that you might otherwise have a right to do. Contracts can be oral, contracts can be written. Is it better to have a written contract? Yes. Of course. Are oral contracts still enforceable? Yes. Quite likely, quite possibly. Okay, so just because it's an oral agreement doesn't mean that it's not a valid contract. Keep that in mind. Okay. Oral agreements can indeed be valid contracts in the right scenario. There are, however, several scenarios where a contract cannot be an oral contract. It must be in writing. And those are what are set forth in the statute of frauds. I'll just say this very quickly. It's in a PowerPoint, so, but very quickly, those examples, those types of contracts that have to be in writing, according to the statute of frauds, are the transfer of real property, buying or selling a house, signing a rental agreement. Okay, those are must be in writing. The sale of personal property over $500. Okay, so if I sell you my car for $1,000, that's got to be in writing. If I sold you my couch for $200, that doesn't have to be. Okay, if sale of personal goods over $500. Agreements which take more than 1 year to perform must be in writing. Agreements to answer for the debts of another, where you're like co-signing for somebody, okay, assuming a liability, and anything pertaining to wills and estates, transfer of property after death, things like that. Okay. Know the distinction between an express contract versus an implied contract. This is in the book, but I just encourage you to just be familiar with the distinction between express and implied. Basically, in an express contract, the terms are set out. It's express. It's obvious. Terms are established. In an implied contract, the terms are implied from the parties' acts or from the parties' history. You know, if the parties have consistently done things together in a certain way, have a course of dealing with each other, this is a continuation of what they've always done. There could be implication from the acts that do indeed form the basis of a valid contract. The last type of thing I just want to make y'all aware of very quickly is what's known as an assignment. A specific type of contract for y'all to be aware of. In an assignment is a transfer of rights for a third party to receive benefits of a contract. Again, it's a transfer of rights for a third party to receive the benefits of a contract. Almost all of you have probably signed an assignment at some point in your life, and when you have done it, probably, my guess is that when you have gone to a doctor's office or a hospital. Okay? In that situation, and if you have insurance, you have a contract with your insurance company, right?
Like life insurance is an assignment.
No, health insurance is a better example. Like use that as to explain why. You have an agreement with your health insurance company. You have a contract with your health insurance company. They agree that they are going to pay for physician visits, ER visits, what have you, right, up to a certain amount. When you go to a doctor's office, you sign an assignment of benefits where you are assigning the rights that you have underneath that contract to the medical provider and allow that medical provider to be paid by the insurance company, okay? So whatever rights you have with your insurance company, you are assigning over to the medical provider so that they can collect on the contract of insurance that you have with your health insurance company. So, does that make sense? A little bit different than life insurance, just because that kind of goes more to, I think, beneficiaries rather than really an assignment. A life insurance, if life insurance.
Because when you sign your health insurance, you know how much you're gonna be paying for services.
Right.
And the third party will get paid that amount, no
Right.
more, no less, from those services.
And then there's a whole layer of different agreements that they have with insurers, which actually might affect the amount that they're paid. But yes, it is indeed creating that right that they have to collect under that policy that you have with them. Sure. Okay. That's all that I have. I'm sorry for going late again, but I'd rather cover it and, got covered. Any final questions for me? No? Okay. Let me know by tomorrow if you need to take the exam someplace other than the Santa Fe Testing Center, please.
On the 15th?
A week from,
2 weeks from tomorrow.
that's right, it's after spring break.
Yeah.
Yes. That's right, I did this a little bit early so that obviously I wasn't gonna do it over spring break, but
Yeah.
I also didn't wanna do it the day before the exam, cause I
Thank you.
didn't think that would be
Appreciate that.
very helpful to anybody, so. All right, well, good luck everybody on the test, but please do let me know by tomorrow if you, need to take it elsewhere.
Excuse me,
Yes.
is the 14th